Hi, everyone. I'm Carly.
And I'm Sophia.
And this is Away She Goes, a podcast from Girls Who Travel.
Each episode will help you feed your wanderlust with travel tips, stories, inspiration, and more. Away she goes.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Away She Goes. Today, Sophia and I are joined by a very special guest, Nicole, who is the executive director of the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival that takes place in Washington State. So she's going to tell us everything we need to know about the festival, best times to go, things to know, and why you should make that your next trip. So Nicole, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I feel very honored to be here. I appreciate it.
Nicole told us before we started recording, this is her first podcast. So we are honored. We are honored at Away She Goes to be the first.
Yes.
So Nicole, if you wouldn't mind just telling our listeners a little bit about you, how you got into the position that you are.
Yeah. Well, first, as I said, thank you so much for having me. I love what you guys do and stand for. Travel has been a big part of my life. And I think it's just so important to encourage women to explore the world. I think it opens doors for so many, different connections and discovery and so forth. So thank you for having me. I am the executive director of the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. My background is really in brand marketing and strategy. I have worked in retail marketing for Nordstrom and Zulily, and I also have a background in nonprofit work, working for World Vision, which the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival is a nonprofit. I grew up here in Washington State and live in Mount Vernon, Washington, which is in kind of the northwest corner of the state and is where Skagit Valley is and where the Tulip Festival is. My husband is from here, and we have two sons who are 6 and 4, who keep us very busy, and I absolutely love it here. My husband is actually a third generation tulip farmer, so the Tulip Festival itself is very near and dear to our family.
That sounds super interesting. I'd love to hear more about the Tulip Festival.
Yeah, so the Tulip Festival is essentially a month-long spring celebration that takes place every year, and it celebrates the fact that we here in Skagit Valley have millions of blooming tulips. And what started as a 2-day festival in 1984 has now become this month-long kind of county-wide celebration that has become really one of the largest destination events in the Pacific Northwest. So we are in our 42nd year, which is just amazing to me. Skagit Valley is the largest grower or producer of daffodils and tulips in North America. So there are tens of millions of just beautiful flowers that you get to come and experience when you come for the Tulip Festival.
I want to go. Sophia, let's go.
Yeah, it is one
Just
of those
a bit
things
far
that I
from
feel
me.
like,
I know.
yeah. I mean, you have, I guess, the Keukenhof in the Netherlands in your backyard. So I don't know if
I've
you've
heard
been
about
there,
it, but no, I haven't, sadly.
You've
no.
never?
No.
Oh, you've got to go. We've been lovingly calling our Tulip Festival the Netherlands of the Northwest, because I think outside of Holland, it is actually one of the only other places in the world that you can see so many tulips blooming.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, so the other kind of unique thing about our Tulip Festival is I think when people think of a festival, right, you think, oh, I get one ticket, I get entrance into said festival. It's one kind of destination or location, and ours is very different and unique. There is not a single location. Visitors are really encouraged to explore all of Skagit Valley, which is comprised of several different towns and cities. And we have there are actually 5 different tulip growers this year. So 5 different tulip gardens that that are all owned and operated separately that you can buy tickets for. And there are lots of different kind of pop-up events and different just experiences that are happening as part of the festival that we, as the organization that really coordinates it all, really try to promote all that there is to do while you're here.
And that was what I noticed. Like when I think of a festival, I think of, okay, I'm going to be there for a weekend, a long weekend, a few days, but it's not that. It's just a month long. Here's all of these things to do in this really beautiful area.
Exactly. Yeah. And we try to plan, especially on the weekends, we always try to have something going on. So every year we host an annual tulip parade, which is in the town of La Conner, and is very cute, very kid friendly, family friendly. There's always a street fair that we work with the Downtown Mount Vernon Association to kind of partner with and promote. It's a huge, basically all of downtown Mount Vernon gets shut down, and over 200 vendors are there. We have an art exhibit. So every year we actually work with an artist to commission a one-of-a-kind piece of artwork that then becomes our commemorative annual poster. And then that poster gets debuted and we exhibit, past year's artwork and such. So we link in with the arts community. There's a big salmon barbecue that's put on every year by the Kiwanis Group, which is another nonprofit that helps just benefit children's scholarships and stuff. So we help promote that. There's so much happening. And yes, it is very much this kind of countywide thing. You can look at our calendar online and kind of pick if there's, aside from the tulips, of course, the tulips are kind of
Obviously,
like
the tulips.
the main attraction, right? But I kind of talk about it as being, those are the hero, but there's so much more to do beyond the flowers.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Like there's really something for everyone, right? So whatever you're
Yeah.
into, apart from tulips, of course. Like if it's music or arts.
Exactly. Yeah, there's also little concerts that are happening where the Skagit Valley is really also known just for the natural beauty here. I think one of the biggest things that, of course, we're known for is being such a rich farming area. We have some of the best soil in the world. So there's a lot of farming that takes place here. Of course, tulips are one of those crops, but we grow a ton of other vegetable crops, and berries are huge too. But the other thing is, it is like just heaven for any kind of outdoor enthusiasts, because we're surrounded by water. So there's and we have the Cascades, and we have tons of just hiking and whale watching and local farm stands to explore and check out. And yeah, it's a really beautiful region that attracts all sorts of different types of people, and there's so much to do.
I've wanted to visit. I have not been to the Pacific Northwest yet. I've wanted to visit Washington and the Pacific Northwest for years. And I have a friend now who sometimes listens to this podcast. So hi, Rachel, if you're listening. She moved to Seattle recently. So
Oh yeah.
she's been
Yeah,
trying
and
to like,
Seattle,
come visit.
yeah, you
So
got to tell her
I
to
gotta
come
get
up
out
if
there at
she
some point.
hasn't.
I will.
Yeah.
I definitely will.
Yeah, come visit your friend. That's perfect. That's the perfect scenario, right? When you have a friend that lives in a destination that you've never been,
Yep.
you can hit them up, maybe stay with them, and then they can chauffeur you around and show you around. Seattle is about an hour and a half south of here.
Not bad at
So
all.
it is the big hub that, we attract people honestly from all over the world. We've had people visit from all 50 states, from so many different countries. Seattle is the hub of which people fly into, and then yeah, it's an hour and a half drive north of there.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
So if somebody is interested, they're listening and they're like, you know what, this sounds like my cup of tea. What kind of tips would you give people for like planning their trip? What are some things that people should consider when planning a trip to come out?
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that we get asked is, well, when should I come? And it's always such a tough question to answer because the festival is a month long because there are blooming tulips that happen throughout that entire month. And it's kind of personal preference also on if you prefer to see a full bloom of tulips. Sometimes people like to come when they're earlier on in the color and the bloom. But it also every year completely depends on the weather. So as with any crop, I don't know if you guys grow anything, but if it's hot, the tulips are gonna bloom earlier, and they're not gonna last as long. And if it's cooler, then it'll take them longer to start blooming. So that is a tough question to answer. Mid-April is kind of always a safe bet, is what I say for anyone who's traveling, from out of state or from very far away. We keep very frequent bloom status updates, is what we call them, on our website and on our social channels. So
That sounds so
I
cute.
always say
I
to,
know.
yeah,
You just check
it's
and
the
see
bloom
like what's
status.
going on. I love it.
Yeah, so people can go to our website, which is tulipfestival.org, or follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and we are constantly showing videos of where the bloom is at. So that's always very helpful. I would always encourage people to kind of check that out before they come and as they're planning. As I mentioned, there are 5 different gardens. So on our website, also we have those 5 gardens highlighted. They all offer something a little bit different, unique, and they're all very charming. So it just depends on kind of what you're looking for. So doing a little bit of research and looking at what each of them offer is always a good idea. You can purchase tickets through our website, or you can just show up and also purchase tickets through the gardens themselves. Um, and I guess the other big thing that I always encourage is to just look at our calendar of events. As I mentioned, we have events happening kind of throughout the month, and there might be something that kind of piques your interest by looking at that and helping to then coordinate what dates you want to come and visit.
Nice.
Perfect.
To oh, I was just gonna say to circle back a little bit. You already gave some hints about some side events and attractions and whatever happens at the festival, and maybe we should dive a little deeper into that. So can you give us some more details about the other stuff at the
Yeah,
festival?
yeah. So we have our calendar of events. So a big part of the Tulip Festival, I should also say, is we are a nonprofit. We rely really heavily on both grant funding and then also sponsors. So a big part of what we do is anyone who wants to be a sponsor of the Tulip Festival, we then work with them to understand if they're coordinating something that's happening during the month of April. So I mentioned the Kiwanis Salmon Barbecue, the street fair. We have an annual photo contest, and the parade. So we just are wanting to ensure that we're spotlighting all of our different sponsors and all of and in addition to that, then all of the various community events that are happening kind of throughout the month. One thing that we do every year moving forward, which we kind of debuted for the first time this year, is a true opening ceremony, which was really fun. It's not open to the public, but it's just our way to really kick off the season. It's for our sponsors and local leaders. We invite press out, media out. And then we have all of the 5 gardens represented there to really talk about what their offerings are for the season, if there's anything new, new varieties of tulips that they might be planting, or different events that they are hosting at the farms themselves and so forth. So that was really fun to do. I mentioned the poster. So we have, as I mentioned, we're 42 years now of being in existence, and we've done the poster literally since 1985. So
Wow.
we have over 40 years of original art. And this year, for the first time, we stood up an original art exhibit where typically all of that art is just kind of hanging in our office. So for the first time this year, we had it on display. And that was kind of our way of trying to get folks who are visiting to other regions of Skagit Valley. So as I mentioned, there's several different towns and cities. And the art exhibit we had in Anacortes, and then also the city of Cedro-Woolley. So again, just a way for us to kind of help spread the love, if you will, of encouraging visitors to see different parts of Skagit County. And that was really well received. So we'll be moving forward with that as well. So yeah, I think those are kind of the main things. The parade itself usually happens the first weekend of April, and is just a really cute, very kind of hometown vibe, community centric parade. With, we've got our high school bands coming out and different car groups, and we have different horse groups, 4-H clubs coming with, we've got donkeys in the past and all sorts of different animals, dogs, and so forth. So that's really fun.
So much. I'm blown away by how much there is to do just in the
Yeah,
festival alone. And this is
right.
just the festival. And, for somebody planning a trip, it's not, I know because I'm from the US, you're in a very, very beautiful part of the country. What are some things to do? Like if, somebody was going to plan a trip and they want to spend time at the festival, what are some things that someone can do in the area if they want to plan a trip out there?
Yeah. So, gosh, one of the things that we're known for, as I mentioned, is just our farmland. I think that is one thing that people absolutely love to see. It's rare to see in this region anymore because there's just not as much of it. We actually are visitors. Over 85% of the people who come are actually coming from the Seattle area. So I think a lot of people love to just come up here, kind of escape the city, see this really beautiful rural land, this expansive land. So, one of the things that I love encouraging is simply to just drive around. Yes, there are 5 gardens. So, those are formal places that have a ticketed experience. There are these really beautiful display gardens. And depending on which garden you go to, you can see just such a variety of offerings. But outside of that, we also have over 250 acres of tulips that are just in fields planted here as a crop. Those are the crops of Rosengard. And that in itself is a beautiful kind of self-guided experience. So you can drive around, see these tulips. The other thing we really love to encourage is just the exploration of the towns. The town of O'Connor is super charming. It's on the waterfront. It's got this channel that's just lined with really cute shops and restaurants. The city of Anacortes is also a great destination. It's kind of the gateway to the San Juan Islands, and I don't know if you guys have heard of the San Juan Islands, but
I have.
I
yeah,
have not.
okay. They are just a beautiful set of islands that are very rich in um, natural beauty. There's a ferry system that gets out there to those islands, and on the ferry, you can often see orca whales, which are just
Ooh.
magical creatures. So that's always something that I love to encourage. There's the Deception Pass Bridge, which is the bridge that links basically to Whidbey Island, which is one of the biggest islands in North America, I think, actually. And it's a known kind of destination. It's just this beautiful bridge that you can go, and there's some hiking trails around there, so that's a great stop. We also have a lot of really great breweries and wineries in the region, and we actually partner every year to have an official beer and an official wine. So that's always great to do. Farm Strong Brewery was our beer, our brewer this year. So you could always stop and grab a craft beer at Farm Strong Brewing. Pasek Cellars is our wine. They do wine tasting. So that's also something you could do while you're here. The options are endless.
It really is. I feel like I could easily fill in like a 2-week trip and still not see see as much as I could, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing too, is like a lot of people, it's easy to do a day trip, but I really encourage people to at least stay a night, because come for the tulips, see this just really unique, beautiful thing that you cannot really see anywhere else in the world outside of the Netherlands. But then after seeing the tulips, there's so much to do in this area. So staying the night or making a weekend of it is something I think anyone could really benefit from.
That sounds really good. And in our document, we have one thing here that is called fun stats. How many people visit each year, etc. And I love that because I'm a very data loving person. So yes, please tell me about the fun stats.
Well, some fun numbers. So every year, we estimate that we attract over 450,000 people in just the month of April alone. That can range from 450 upward to 600,000 people, which is just incredible. That has a huge economic impact to the area, as you can imagine. If people come, they're likely buying food, perhaps staying the night at our hotels, buying tickets to the gardens. So from that influx of visitors, we estimate it drives about $100 million of revenue in 1 month, which again, I don't know if that's, I don't know how common that is for a 1 month kind of event. So it has just such an incredible impact on our community. In terms of the influx of visitors to our website, we see over 500,000 visitors come to our website to explore and kind of plan their travel. And so yeah, we see these incredible numbers. As I said, we've seen people from all 50 states, from all over the world. We actually do see, I love the groups that I end up meeting and talking to, especially women that have come. There was one group that I thought of ahead of this, of our time together. There were 3 sisters that live in different states that hadn't seen each other in a long time, and decided to come and explore and visit the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival as their kind of reunion of sorts. I think it had been over like 8 years since they had seen each other, and they decided to make our destination their kind of special thing that they wanted to come together for. So I love the types of groups that we get. We often see families who have come with their kiddos from, like infants, that they're holding the kiddos in the tulips, and then they make it an annual tradition to just see how their kiddos grow. And
Is it the size of a tulip yet?
Yeah. I mean, we literally have tulips that are so tall that they're bigger than children. Like I have both of my kids next to tulips that are bigger than them.
That are bigger than they are.
Love that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Because the stems of tulips.
Yeah, I didn't realize they could get that big.
This is a fun little fact. Yeah, they can grow to, a couple feet tall. And the tulip is actually the only flower that once it has been picked continues to grow. So I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you have tulips in a vase, they start to kind of like droop over. It's because they continue to grow and get longer after they've been cut.
Interesting.
So this episode is going to, like, our listeners right now, it's either the end of August or like early September. So when is the next Tulip Festival? So for people who are listening, then they're like, sign me up. What
Yeah.
timeline are they looking at?
So it is an annual celebration that takes place every April, basically. That can flex a little bit depending on the bloom. So just plan for 2026, spring of 2026, April 1st through the 30th. And it may flex to be a little bit before that April 1st date or could last into May. But visit our website, tulipfestival.org, and follow along on our socials to continue to get updates on the bloom. And we also, a big part of our mission is to also educate around kind of farming practices. So if you're ever interested in, what it takes to grow so many tulips, we put out a lot of different content that speaks to that as well. But yeah, April of 2026.
Awesome. And
Nice.
we will have the episode, or wow, I totally just bungled that. We will have the website and everything in the episode description if anybody wants to go check it out.
Perfect.
Nice. And I think that wraps
up. Thank you guys so much. This was so fun.
That's all for this episode. If you'd like more Away She Goes in your life, make sure to stop by girlswhotravel.org/podcast. That's where you can fill out a form if you're interested in being a guest on the show. You can also write to us at awayshegoesgwt@gmail.com or leave us a message on our Google voicemail from any phone or computer at 1-563-503-6323. To follow our adventures, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Carly Sees the World. Carly is spelled Carli.
You can also follow me at Sophia AEZ, Sophia with a PH. Away She Goes is part of Girls Who Travel, a community dedicated to radically redefining travel to be inclusive, sustainable, and empowering. You can learn more about GWT, find travel tips and support, shop travel-themed items made by GWT members, and join our Facebook group with nearly 100,000 women all around the world at girlswhotravel.org. We can't wait to connect and explore with you. Away she goes.